Hey guys, sorry about that. Had to get my charger um, and plug my laptop in. So this is going to be split up in two parts. So if you haven't watched part one, go ahead and stop the video right now and watch part one. But actually, we are nearly done with section 3.5 day one. So let's go ahead and continue solving problem number 8. So we were given 2 points here. So we know we have to first identify our slope, which we know we can calculate now because we have our equation y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we have 0 minus a negative 2 over a 6 minus 3. So this minus a negative just means the opposite of a negative, which is a positive. So I really get 2 over 3. So my slope is 2/3. Okay, now I have a slope and I actually have 2 points to choose from. I'm just going to go ahead and choose one of these to use. So I'm going to actually choose this first one. Okay, so if I plug that into my point slope equation, let's see what we get. So y minus y1, which is a negative 2. So it's really y plus 2. Write my slope down. X minus x1, so x minus 3. Not the form I want, so I have to distribute. We get y plus 2 equals 2/3 x minus 2. Finally, last step, subtract the 2, which gives us y equals 2/3 x minus 4, which matches what I wanted in my final form. Okay, so again, this one did not specify whether we wanted something parallel or perpendicular. All that was given was just 2 points. We know what to do from there. That's actually something we did in the previous section. So we took these 2 points, calculated our slope first. Once we have our slope, we choose one of the points to help us write a point slope form. From there, if we still have to go the extra step, we have to distribute and isolate the y to get a slope-intercept equation. Okay, let's go ahead and go through 9 and 10, and then I'll have you try 11 and 12 on your own. So let's see. It says write the equation of a line with an undefined slope that passes through the point 4, comma, negative 3. Now, this seems to be a review from last time. We have an undefined slope, and we also have the point 4, negative 3. So let's remember which lines have an undefined slope. Well, if you guys remember the little trick I showed you, you have these two words, and I capitalized the first letter because this shows me that, okay, these lines right here are horizontal. This line right here is vertical. So horizontal lines have a slope of 0. Vertical lines have a slope that is undefined. So it looks here that we have a vertical line. Now, when you think of a coordinate plane, just like that, and if something crosses, something is vertical, something like that, it crosses what axis? It crosses the x-axis, right? So it's going to start with x equals. My equation is going to start with x equals. Now we look to our point. That's my x point and then my y point. I'm sorry, my x value and then my y value for that particular point. Well, if I'm interested in an equation with x equals, then I should be looking at my x value. So my x value here is 4. So that is my equation. Okay, guys, so these right here are really helpful. If you guys remember those, you guys should have no problem identifying these particular types of equations. Remember, there's also this one that I've taught you guys if you guys want to use it, Mr. Slope guy. So once again, he has, let's see, whoops, positive, negative, undefined. Okay. So positive slope, negative slope, undefined slope, and zero slope. Notice again, from left to right it increases, so it's positive. From right, I'm sorry, from left to right it's negative, it's going down. This right here, a vertical line, goes straight up and down, so it has a U underneath for the nose, undefined slope. And also this horizontal line here in red has two little zeros at the very end, which means that it has a slope of 0. Okay, so whichever one of these two methods that you guys want to try out is totally cool. Okay, whichever one of these you guys want to try. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at number 10. We want to write a point slope equation. So let's write ourselves a little reminder here. We want something in this form. Of a line that is parallel to this equation and passes through the point 16, negative 3. So this time we're actually merging two things, something we talked about in the previous section, which was point slope equations, and something we talked about this section, which was parallel and perpendicular lines. So we need something that's parallel. Well, this original slope that I'm given here is negative 1/4. So meaning my new slope has to be also 1/4, or rather negative 1/4. Why? Because it's a parallel line. Parallel lines have similar slopes. They have the same slopes, okay? Now, I have a slope, I have a point, so I can go straight to writing my point slope equation. So what do I get? I get y minus that new slope, which is negative, I'm sorry, y minus my y1, which is a negative 3, so this is actually a positive 3. Now I write my slope, which is negative 1/4, parentheses x minus 16. So this is my final answer, and it is of that form, so I know it has to be correct, or at least the form is correct. Okay? Okay, go ahead and pause the video at this time now. I want you guys to try out 11 and 12, see how well you do, and then we will verify our answers. Alright guys, let's go ahead and take a look at number 11. It says, write a slope-intercept equation of the line that passes through the point -1, -6, and is perpendicular to this line. Okay, -1/2 x minus 4. So this form that I wanted it is slope-intercept. So I need to have something in the end that looks like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we can do here. Okay, so let's see. We have something that is perpendicular. So what is my original slope? Well, the original slope in this equation is -1/2. My new slope has to be an opposite reciprocal. So the opposite of a negative is a positive. So it's going to be a positive, and then it's the reciprocal of 1/2, which is 2/1, or just 2. So my new slope is 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and use that information to write our point slope form. Actually, I read that wrong. It's supposed to be a slope-intercept form. So this reminder here was a little off, so let's go ahead and rewrite it. This has to be the final form. Okay, but we do have a point and a slope now, so I can go ahead and write a point slope equation. So what do I have? I have y minus a -6, which is a positive 6, a slope of 2, and then x minus a negative 1, which is a positive 1. Not the form I want, so I distribute. I get y plus 6 equals 2x plus 2. Subtract my 6, and I get a final answer here of y equals 2x minus 4. Alright, so hopefully you guys got a similar answer. Remember, it's always nice to go back and double check your work. That's what I did here, and I noticed that I had my form originally wrong, so I went ahead and rewrote my reminder. Okay, last one here, and then we will be done for this section. So we want to write a point slope equation of a line that has a slope of negative 2 and a y-intercept of 0, 8. Now, this is like one of the problems that showed up in a section or two ago where we want a point slope. So we want something in y minus y1, x minus x. But because of the information we're given, a y-intercept and a slope, we think, well, maybe we should write it in slope-intercept. Well, that's not what we want. We want point slope. So instead of thinking at this 0, 8 as your b, think of it as your x1, y1. Okay? So we have all the information we need. A slope of negative 2, an x1, and a y1. So if we take that, all we have to do is y minus y1, which is 8. My m is negative 2, and then x minus 0. And remember, if you leave it like this, that's totally fine. I don't like leaving that minus 0 because if you subtract 0, it's like nothing. You're not subtracting anything. So I can rewrite this as y minus 8 equals negative 2x. Okay, so this right here is also that form. Obviously, this one right here on the left side that I did first looks a little bit more like that one, but either or will work. Okay, so whichever one you think is easiest, go ahead and keep it that way. Okay. Alright guys, I think that is it for this video. I hope you guys have a little bit of a better understanding of perpendicular and parallel lines. If you need any extra help, go ahead and seek me out. See if you guys can come up with some good questions to make sure you ask and have you guys understand this a little better. Okay, and as always, if something that I talked about here, especially in these later problems, guys, from let's see, from number 7 through number 12, if something there didn't make sense, it's probably because it didn't quite make sense in the previous sections, because a lot of what we did in 7 through 12 was a lot of older material. Okay, so go ahead and rewatch any of the videos from the past to make sure that you understand this. Alright guys, well I will talk to you soon, and go ahead and try your homework to see if you guys have a good grasp of all these concepts. Alright, see you later guys.